There are going to be 20 matching. There are going to be 5 written questions, sentence questions. We'll put the bill stuff in order. And we will do impeachment. So, on the matching, there'll be 20 questions. There are 24 answers. So which answers are you going to use? The right ones. Right? Don't use the wrong ones. What is in charge of both the House and the Senate? The majority party. The majority party is in charge of the House and the Senate. That's true. Majority leaders. If you want to highlight stuff, write stuff, if you want to underline stuff on your questions, that's perfect. The people represented by an office holder, what are they called? Constituents. Constituents are represented by an office holder. Now there's 18 things within the Constitution of what Congress can do. The last one was the necessary and proper clause. It said whatever needs to be done to get this other stuff done, you can do it. I think I called it something else, saying it stretches the power of government. What's a word that means that stretches? If like fabric had, like clothes had this in it to make it stretch. It's elastic. Elastic clause is the necessary and proper clause. It stretches the power of government. Elastic clause is the necessary and proper clause. What's a senator's term? 6. Senator's term is 6 years. Senator's term goes with 6. With a 2/3 vote, what can the House and Senate do to the president's veto? Override it, overturn it, whatever. Yes, that is true. Override the veto. And they use the census to determine how many reps each state gets. What is that called? The apportionment. Apportionment is the census. A representative's term is how long? 2 years. When the state draws new congressional districts, when they draw new districts, that's redistricting. The what is in charge of running the Senate meetings? That's the House. They don't run the meetings. The vice president bangs the gavel at the Senate. That's their big job. They had to have something for them to do. They had to give them something, so they gave you just do that. Sometimes the vice president has to do a bunch of stuff, like the president wants them involved. Sometimes the president just says, go away. And all they have to do is bang the gavel in the Senate. That's a pretty good gig. That's a pretty good job. Nobody wants to kill the vice president. You have to wear a tie.
So basically, you don't really have to choose any qualified.
The role of the vice president is to get the president elected. You pick someone to be vice president that will bring in other votes. Or have something the president doesn't have. Like if the president's old, they pick somebody young. If they're young, they pick somebody old and experienced. If they don't know anything about foreign policy, they pick someone who knows foreign. Pick someone that gets other things. Like if I was running for president, I would have to pick, if I picked another old white guy, it'd be dumb because nobody else is going to vote. The same people vote for me or vote for that person. So I need to pick somebody else. How many senators and reps are there total? 535. The 60 votes it takes to limit debate and block a filibuster. Cloture. Cloture is the 60 votes.
I'll show you a video.
If you are spending money you don't have, deficit spending.
Wait, what is it?
Spending money you don't have is borrowing. Deficit spending is spending money you don't have. You're going into a deficit. The blank of the house is in charge of what happens in the house. Speaker of the house. If a government official is having this happen to them, they're being accused of breaking the law. Impeachment. Impeachment. When the districts are drawn to give a group an advantage. Gerrymander. Gerrymander is giving a group an advantage. How often does that happen? Every time. Every time. What kind of powers are directly stated in the Constitution? Express. Blank powers are not directly stated, implied. Legal ownership of an idea or invention. Patent. It's a thing you can patent. A picture or a story or a poem, you get a copyright. You can copy it. If you're going through the process of becoming a U.S. citizen, you're not a citizen, but you're going through the process. You're being naturalized. You can be born natural-born citizen, but we naturalize you by you going through the process.
I didn't know it was too hard to work into. I just thought it was.
There's the matching. I'm going to go over the impeachment, and then tomorrow we'll go over everything. With impeachment, I have described what each element of impeachment does and who does it. And I've got prosecuting attorney, grand jury, jury, and judge. So who is the prosecuting attorney in an impeachment? House Judiciary Committee. The House Judiciary Committee is the prosecuting attorney. They gather the evidence and try to prove guilt. So the House Judiciary Committee is the prosecuting attorney. They report to the grand jury. Who is the grand jury? The House of Representatives. So the prosecuting attorney reports to the grand jury, reports to the House. The grand jury does what? Is there enough for a trial? They don't try the case, they decide if there's enough to have a trial. Then it goes to the jury. Who is the jury in an impeachment? The Senate. House does the actual impeaching. The trial goes to the Senate. The jury decides if they're guilty or innocent. And if they're found guilty, if they're what the punishment would be. If a judge is being impeached, who is the vice president? What is the vice president going to do? Stay on and be the judge. If a judge is being impeached, the vice president is the judge of the impeachment trial. If the president or vice president is being impeached, who's going to get to be the judge? Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will be the judge if it's president or vice president. All right? We'll review again tomorrow in depth or in class.